Good morning, everybody. This is Patrick MontesDeOca with the Equity Management Academy live trading room. This is April the 13th, 2015. This segment is brought to you by the Equity Management Academy. On this segment, what I would like to do is to review the report that we published on Saturday, which is the weekly VC price momentum indicator weekly report for gold and silver. This report is published every Saturday, and this report published on April the 10th. For the gold market indicates that the June gold contract closed at 1208. And if you see the chart on your left, it shows the June gold futures contract that we're tracking. And the market closing above the 9-day moving average of 1196 was basically confirmation that the weekly trend momentum turned bullish. But it also tells you that if a close below the 9-day moving average, it would negate the weekly bullish short-term trend to neutral. And so on obviously Friday, the market is telling you that it's a bit bullish coming into this week, slightly bullish, but that if we go below the moving average of 1196, then the momentum starts turning a little bit neutral. Now, the weekly momentum indicator, which is the market VC weekly price momentum indicator, which is the metrics or the pivot point for the week, which is 1208, it confirms that the price momentum is basically neutral. With the market closing at the same price, it's a neutral signal. And this is preparing you now for this week that if it closes above the VC weekly of 1208, it would trigger a short, basically would trigger a short signal if it closes below 1208. A close below the VC weekly, it would trigger a short signal. A close above the VC weekly, it would trigger a long signal. So the gold market is neutral right now, in the pivot point of the metrics is 1208. We'll see where we close for the week. That will determine the trend basically to unfold to the downside below 1208. And if it does, this tells you to look to take profits on your shorts between 1192 and 1197. And if we take a look at the current market trading 1199.40, so far today the low was 1196 with a high of 1199.40. So we tried to test this lower level of support into that buy one level, but market is rejecting these low prices here, and if we close above 1208, the uptrend is going to be ignited, activated, and it would basically also activate the sell one level of 1224 to 1241 if you do multiple positions. So right now, the gold market is neutral once again. A close above 1208 would activate a buy signal and use the 1208 as your stop market on the close. If it closes below 1208, it's a short signal. Your buy and entry to liquidate is 1192. Buy one and buy two level of 1175. Your stop is 1208. It is a good time to see how the signal is initiated or activated from a neutral position, which is always the way that the signal unfolds and develops initially. Let's take a look at silver and see what the market is telling us for this week. In using the silver market, we are trading the May contract in silver, which is going off the board here very, very soon. And if you want to initiate a position, you can do it under July for more liquidity. But the signal is based on the May, and we will be switching into July after this report. The May silver contract, futures contract, closed at 16.49. The market closing below the 9-day moving average of 16.54 is confirmation that the weekly trend momentum is bearish. But if it closes above 16.54, this bearish short-term trend would be negated to neutral. The weekly indicator, which is the pivot point for the week for silver, or the metrics for the week that we're using, with the market closing below the VC weekly price momentum indicator of 1665, it confirms that the price momentum is bearish. But it also tells you that if it closes above the VC weekly, it would trigger weekly stops and negate the bearish signal to neutral. If it does come down here, in fact, it tells you below 1665, look to take profits on shorts into corrections at the buy one level of 1633 to 1616. And last night we activated basically the 1633 level to go long. And the 1616 level basically is the B2 level, suggesting to add to your position. And if you do add to your position and the market comes down to 1616, then use that 1616 as your stop level on a closing basis, market on the close. If you buy here, it tells you that basically your first target is 1665, which is the VC code or the pivot point for the week. A close above 1665 then activates the targets above of 1681 to 1714, which correspond to the sell 1 level of 1681 and the sell 2 level of 1714 that we have posted in the room. For any additional questions regarding the application of this algorithm and any other derivatives, please feel free to give me a call under no obligation to 805 area code 418-1744, or you can email me at support@ema2trade.com. That's ema with the digit number 2 trade.com. This is Patrick MontesDeOca. Thank you once again for the opportunity to spend this time with you. And I look forward until next time. Until then, good trading, my friends, and be well.